this is Liz Truss doing an interview with the Sunday Telegraph, saying, I'm sticking to my plan. It is the right plan. She's saying it's all about growth and we had to make some tough decisions. Do you think this is the way to turn people's opinions around, by explaining? Is that what needs to be done, or does there need to be some backing down on some of the less popular policies?
There always needs to be explanation, and you're quite right to point out that this story talks very much about Liz saying the status quo wasn't, Liz Truss, our Prime Minister, saying that the status quo wasn't acceptable. We had to change things, and this is a growth plan, and she's sticking to it. And I've been up and down the country this week talking to many people. I wanted to get the real understanding of what the zeitgeist was, what people were feeling, particularly as well, strong Conservative Hall voters, understanding how they feel. For me, what an economy needs isn't just growth. It's about participation. So it's about people feeling they've got a greater say. It's about stability. It's about making sure it is growing, yes, but it's equitable. So it's fair for all and sustainable. And for me, confidence breeds confidence. And you're going to have an economy that rallies when people feel good. I feel that so far we've had, yes, a very small amount of time for Miss Truss to be in role, but my goodness me, do people feel that she's come out and reassured, given that confidence for them to spend, given that confidence that they're going to be okay? I've not heard those messages. The people I'm speaking to haven't heard those messages. So I think you can go on with your kind of ideological strong and wrong. I'm going to keep saying this until people understand it's the way forward. But there has to be a tipping point of an amount of people who agree with you and wholeheartedly back you on that. And that doesn't seem to be the case, as we've just heard from Marianne on the polls as well.
What do you make about how this has been handled, Kate? Because this weekend we've had a couple of articles, we've had op-eds, as they call them, people, you know, the politicians themselves writing for a newspaper explaining themselves. That's come about this weekend, but that's a week after the mini-budget. Do you think that the comms on this, if you like, have been bad?
Yeah, I mean, and tokenism. She did, the Prime Minister did the regional radio ring rounds, and I listened to a lot of those stations and interviews, and she was fairly challenged on them all. And yes, there were some points made, but this is a long-term strategy in the main and only going to benefit a small amount of people in the short term. And we've got so many questions. It's not as if when that podium posturing exercise that seemed to go on forever, Liz Truss and Rishi were not completely clear on what the job was at hand. It was always going to be a bit of a poison chalice. But surely you come out with an emotional intelligence at this time that's going to reassure people using food banks, scared of their energy bills, worried about going into NHS for postponed appointments if it's actually going to crack and not give them the appointment they've so long waited. And understanding more than anything where we've all come from. This isn't a case that we've not just had. So we've had 3 years of challenges. COVID, of course, the extreme situation with the Ukraine war. We have just gone from pillar to post. So you imagine being a small business owner, of which there are 5 million in the UK, trying to then work out how you're going to fight this latest battle of heating your business. And it's no wonder that people have just got their head in the hands, sadly.